Coach, how we doing this morning?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. I know it's a huge game tomorrow, a must-win game 6 that's in Ball Arena. But so far, this has been such a tight series. I'm sure you're aware of the numbers of the time that you've spent leading in this series versus the time the Stars have. What do you think is going really well for you, and what needs to improve heading into game 6?
Well, I think I've liked our 5-on-5 play in this series. I like the fact that we are getting a lead and playing with the lead until last game. I think that's really important against Dallas because, as you saw in Game 4, they get the couple bounces and score a couple of goals early, and they can go into this tight defensive shell, make it even more difficult on you than they do through regular play in a tie or in a game when you're leading. And then they've just got a really good counter attack. So as you start to press to try to get back in the game, they can be super opportunistic, and they don't need a lot of chances to score goals, as you've seen. So you get pressing a little bit, you make a mistake, and then they're going to come and put more on you, right? So I like that aspect of our game. Like, our forecheck's been rolling. It's been highly effective. We've done a better job as the series goes on about getting to the net front and causing some chaos and getting some dirty chances. They're not easy to get to with their big body D draped all over you all the time, but we're grinding in that area. On the other side of it, I think we definitely have to stay out of the box. Their power play's been lethal. Special teams is going to be big here. Has been the whole series, and we gotta find a way to get more dangerous on our power play. Stay out of the box and try to do a job nullifying their power play, which we did at home in Game 4, which is one of the reasons why we had the success we did in Game 4. So it's a big one. Obviously Game 4 at home was pretty much a must-win, and guys came out and played their best game of the series, and hopefully we can do that again here tomorrow night.
Coach, we're spoiled in Denver. We have some superstar athletes, and they usually play like superstars. Why hasn't Cale Makar met that standard in this series?
Well, he's gotten there, in the last handful of games. I thought he was really good. It was a little bit of a slow start for him in the series. Listen, he played an incredible Game 1. I think it was 12 shot attempts. The problem is his sights were off in that game, and he misses the net more than usual, and that turns into a really tight game. He's getting into the right areas of the ice. He's got, again, last game, he had 3 or 4 shots right from the slot. Ottinger makes some big saves. I can't say that he's not playing well. Game 4, he was absolutely dominant horse in the game, and a huge difference maker in the game, him and Nate. But they're making it tough on those guys. That's, a lot of times in playoff hockey, it's stars can nullify the other stars, and it's been difficult on them, but I feel like they've been grinding through it, and got to stay with it again for one more game. Hopefully they have a game 6 like they did Game 4 at home.
Coach, in game number 4, you had 48 shots on goal. And I don't know if it's a direct correlation or somewhat of a coincidence, but it seems like when you guys fire that puck and then retrieve pucks and whatnot, that's when you're at your best against this Dallas team. And I know you don't just want to throw pucks at the net and give up possession and have a face-off and so on, but how do you coach that? Is it, hey, just throw everything at the net, or is it throw more things to the net or be decisive? What do you say to your guys?
Yeah, it's calculated for sure. I think that your best, our message to our guys is our best ozone shifts usually start with the shot, right? You get in, you got to win that forecheck, or you got to get an entry possession, and then it starts with a shot. And then you get, we have a lot of speed and a lot of tenacious players in our forward lineup. And then it becomes about loose puck recoveries, races, battles to kind of sustain your ozone time, especially this time of the year. So shooting the puck is major key, right? And it doesn't have to be the perfect shot. We're sending guys to the net. Forwards are doing a good job getting to the net. whether they're the one shooting or we're using the low to highs in the offensive zone that starts with the D shot, and then everything's got to start firing from there with the retrievals, races, battles, recoveries, get them back to the net, and you kind of find a rhythm with your offense, right? And that's when I feel like we're most dangerous. Game 4, I think we had like 40 shot attempts from our D, which was awesome, and that's what you need to do. Like, if you're too selective, if you're not moving the puck quick enough to get those shots, if you're not winning enough races and battles, the shots become fewer and farther between, as we've seen in a couple of games in this series. So there was a competitive nature to our guys in Game 4, which was like just outstanding. We'll have to get there again. Like it's going to be a tough game, but I feel like like we liked their Game 1, we liked their parts of Game 2, we really liked Game 3 in a lot of respects, and came up short. And Game 4 was kind of the pinnacle for us. And even in our 5-on-5 play last game, like, we did a good job. We held more O-zone time than D-zone time. Expected goals for, and some things that we really liked in there. Just couldn't solve Ottinger quite as easy, and penalties took their toll on us in that game.
You spoke about the penalties. I believe yesterday you were asked about the way that this series was officiated, because it's been a war zone out there. There's been a lot of physicality, and it feels like it's gotten really picky and choosy at times that they let them play and times that they don't. What are your overall thoughts on that?
That's the part I can't understand and I don't like. It's like it is like, if you're watching our players away from the puck in the offensive zone, trying to get to the net and watch what's happening with their defending, and then like all of a sudden at the other end we'll do something and it's just like automatic penalty. And I just think, like, if you're gonna let them play and you're gonna let them battle the way that the battles have been going, then let them do that. Like, you can't have the guys guessing at what's a penalty and what's not, and that was my frustration with last game. I just felt like it was I didn't like the way it was officiated. I think, like, if you're going to play strong and tough, then you got to play strong and tough on both sides of it and let us play. And if you're setting up a high standard when it comes to penalties, then make it consistent from the drop of the puck. You can't just wait till game's half over and then start calling them. It's too late at that point, because players have already kind of figured out your standard and what you're going to call and what they can get away with, and they just want it to be fair, like even playing field on both sides.
Coach, the game was largely over when Jamie Benn took that dive. I'm just curious, did the official come over and say anything to you? What did he see there?
No, they see the high stick and they call it. Not a lot of conversation going on with those guys. We talk to the supervisors in between games and the officials occasionally during the game. But as you know, there's no change in their mind. There's no argument. It's too late once the call's made. The call on Sam Malinsky was the killer. Puck's there. He's coming over to play him. Their guy tries to jump out of the way and goes down. But that play is happening 30, 40 times a game on both sides of it.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, and I guess we'll see if that gets rectified coming up tomorrow evening. Hey, Coach, we've talked about goalies a lot. Your goalies, opposing goalies, and whatnot, but you can always tell when a goalie's kind of feeling good, can't you? I mean, just by the way they move and the way they make their saves and that sort of thing. And I know their goalie on the other side felt really good in game number 5. So what do you want to do in terms of taking Ottinger's eyes away or getting in his kitchen? Is it sort of all hands on deck at the top of the crease at this point?
Yeah, with some depth and width. I think you got to get to the top of the paint, and you got to drag one of their Ds. One of their Ds going to be with you, so it's automatic that you got a little bit of traffic there, and then you got to have some layers to it, a little bit higher at the hash marks. And then when the puck goes there, you got to start converging to the net. And like I said, like, our sort of dirty area scoring chances have built up through the course of this series. We didn't like them in game 2, but game 1 started out okay. Then we wanted to get there more, and through the course of the series, game 3 we got there a lot. Game 4 even more. Game 5 was about the same as game 3. It's hard to get there because they're they're mauling you and they're all over you coming out of the corners and using their big bodies and trying to prevent you from getting there, which again just kind of speaks to my, like it's borderline interference coming to the net all the time. You got to fight through it. You got to make sure you're evasive enough coming to the net front and you're delivering the puck there on time, and then you got to go to war for those rebounds, screens, deflections, and recoveries after that.
How confident are you guys heading into this that they win 2 in a row and they get out of here? I mean, I know there's always like a nervous energy when your back's against the wall, but they've been here before. What's your read on them?
Yeah, you got to play confident enough, like, to make plays and make sure you're using our skating to our advantage. Like, I feel like that on 5-on-5, we've been the quicker team. So I mean, it's the same way I felt after Game 3. Like, we're in a must-win situation, right? Game 4 was must-win. Game 6 is must-win. The guys showed up and played incredible, and we got to go do it again. Like, I don't see any reason, based on what we're doing here, to not be confident in our play. Certainly, it's going to be a really tough game. There's no question. But like, the guys have done enough in this series to show me that, like, we're here to compete and we got to go, play our best game one more time. And we'll go through we were off yesterday and traveling. We'll go through the game a little bit today, talk about some things that we really want to do exceptionally well tomorrow, and work on some special teams and get a little skate in. And mine should be, to take, like I said, it takes a little bit of time to get over those losses because they all sting this time of the year. Everyone knows how important they are, and you got to reset your mind first and come ready to work today, and then tomorrow we turn them loose.
Coach, good news is your pregame speech is going to be pretty easy. I mean, what else is there left to say? Guys, we can't lose, and you got to say that twice. You have nowhere else to go. You got to win here.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's like we'll go over the tactical things today, and we'll give them little refreshers tomorrow in a couple meetings. But this is going to be about your want and will and desire to go win. Like, that's they've held the edge in that in a couple games in the series. We've held the edge in that in a couple games of the series, and the result is generally followed. So you got to go beat the guy across from you at this point. It's like such an evenly matched series that you have no choice but to go play your best and give it everything you got tomorrow night.
I know you love it, Coach. I know you do. I don't know why I do. Playoff hockey, it just seems abusive at times. Self-inflicted abuse, you know what I mean? Because the puck goes in off the Donoff's laces, and the only one that finds it is Johnston, and he just, from an impossible angle, Blackwood's there. I don't know how it gets through him. I mean, it's almost like, and then it goes up in the air, it hits the crossbar, hits his nameplate, and I'm thinking I could punch a dolphin at that point, and you're more even-keeled than me, but I don't know. It's just playoff hockey is so dang tough because when you look at these 5 games, I would argue all day and night that you've been the better team overall in this series, yet you're the one that's trailing, right?
Well, 5-on-5, we've played really well. The special teams got to be a difference maker for us tomorrow night. There's no question. That game was such a funny game because 2 goals that that you just never see this time of the year go in. You're behind the 8 ball. You're into the second period. You got to stick with your plan, but you got to create more in order to win, right? You get a couple of good looks. It's still 2-0. You start pressing a little bit as time's going through. They make it 3-0. That's on one of those ones where you're playing in their zone, and then they take off with numbers. You make a mistake, and it's in the back of your net. It's 3-0, and we go to work and make it 3-2, and then the penalties come, and it's like all over, right? So, a really good start here at home would help, no question. Getting on the board first would help, no question. But it's got to be foot on the gas, throw everything to the net, get traffic and rebounds and screens and tips and deflections at their cage, and we got to pick up some ugly ones, and then we got to be really sharp on our special teams. We got to come through on the power play if the opportunity comes, and our penalty kill is going to have to be really good like they were in Game 4 at home.
Two quick things here, Coach. I'm going to let you go and appreciate your time as always. I know the series and the wins are bigger than any individual story, but when it comes to Landeskog and the way that he's played since his comeback, is it better than you expected? Is it what you expected? I mean, how would you evaluate it?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's so good to have him back. It's like he comes back and you immediately remember why you were missing him so much in the first place, right? So I would say his play is what's been the most impressive, right? Because you just never know how that's going to go. What level is he going to be at with his play? Is it going to be 50%, 60%, 70%? I felt from talking with Landy that the health of himself, the conditioning, just the way he was going to feel physically, I felt really confident in that, and so did he. It was like, what's his timing going to be like when the pressure's on? Like, he's coming back in. He's just not coming back in like October, November, December. Like, he's coming back in against the Dallas Stars, one of the best teams in the league. The intensity of it, the speed of it, the physicality of it, and he just looks so poised and relaxed, and it's almost like he never left, and I feel like he's only going to get better from where he is right now. The more he plays, the more it's going to come back to him. So I'm really impressed with the way he's played, in this series after being out so long.
Head coach of the Avs, Jared Bednar, joins us every single Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Coach, always appreciate the time. Good luck tomorrow, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, fellas. Thank you. Bye.
That is head coach of the Avs, Jared Bednar. All conversations with the coach are brought to you by Quantum Fiber, internet that's everything you imagine, and then some. Visit quantumfiber.com. Yes, I said we'll talk next week because they're going to win these next two games.
I want nothing more than to have a Coach Bednar show a week from today.
Mm-hmm. Vic, you said you were so mad at the puck. Like, why in hockey does this happen?
I don't like the puck.
I know you don't. But it is abusive, isn't it, a little bit? I mean,
Did you say you want to punch a dolphin?
Yeah, I love dolphins. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying it would make me want to punch a dolphin right in his beak. Right,
your ass,
right in his.
I'd love to see you. I'd love to see you versus a dolphin and see who wins.
No, a dolphin would absolutely smoke me.
By the way, we're going to give away the keyword in a minute, so stay tuned for that.
I guess it depends. Are we on land? Are we on the beach? Are we in the water?
Have you guys done the dolphin thing? Where you get in the little pool and the dolphin pushes you around?
No, but I've seen it. I've seen a dolphin.
I did that once. I'm telling you, it was bizarre.
Yeah.
Where it was like it was an excursion for this thing, whatever. And you get in this
fish.
pool, and they say, stand straight and put your feet together. And the next thing you know, the nose of the dolphin at full speed is picking you up, and you're flying through the air. And all I could think to myself is, I want this as a pet. Every once in a while, I just want to feel like I can fly.
Well, you ever heard of Flipper Jack?
Well, I don't want to keep it as a pet. I don't want these things
No,
confined.
Flipper. No, man. Flipper lived in the wild. He did his own thing. But when Sandy goes zooga zooga zooga, right, bud? Zooga zooga, and the dolphin comes and zooga zooga zooga. Anyway,
from my angle, the zooga zooga looked like something different.
Okay. Anyway, they could call Flipper and he'd come and help him out and drive him to steakhouse and whatnot. No, but seriously, it's just the stupid puck. It does dumb things. I hate it.
Hey, quickly.
The Avs have been the better team overall in this series, and they're the ones trailing.
Who's your favorite dolphin ever? Mine's the dolphin from Ace Ventura. He can hit field goals. It's
that
pretty
guy,
cool.
the guy could split the uprights big time.
Yep.
No doubt about it.
And they needed him for that Super Bowl.
I was going to say maybe Mark Duper.
Yeah, I was going to say
he was a good dolphin.
Probably Dan Marino's my favorite dolphin ever, or Larry Zonka.
I just want a dolphin that zoogas.
Hey, Flipper, come over here with the zooga zooga, huh?
Right.
Hey.